All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we are back for another edition of Big Beard Business. For those of you new to the channel, I'm B, and on this channel we help you improve your confidence by way of compliments using the wonderful world of fragrance. If this is your second video or more, we ask that you hit the subscribe button so you can come back to rock with your boy. Today I'm here with a fragrance review from a company that I recently mentioned in the video because I thought it was dope. And, well, I promised the official review, and we are here with that today. The fragrance that I'm talking about is that of Devious, and this is from the house of ILK Parfums, or ILK. I called them ILK the first time around. I'm not sure if it's ILK or ILK, but today they will be ILK ILK. But no, man, listen, all jokes aside, this is anything but a laughing matter. We're talking about a fragrance that is super nice. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and get through some of the presentation. Now, the presentation for ILK comes in a pull-out box like this, and on the back of it, I have to read this. It says that this is an insight into the sour edge of one's mind. Your presentation for this is pretty simplistic. You have a nice sized bottle, good to hold in the hand, and that is your distribution. Now, as always, I want to make sure that I give you clear disclosure. This fragrance was sent to me by Crystal Fragrance, and in fact, this is how it went. She said, B, I got something you would love. And I said, what? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, what? She was like, yeah. And I said, what is it? And she told me the note breakdown on it. And I was like, okay. Shoot it over here and I'll check it out. And I was just blown away with this fragrance when I smelled it. But before even smelling this scent, I was like really intrigued with the name. The name of this scent, as I mentioned, is Devious. Now, when I think of the name, it automatically brings me back to a song. And the song is called Stressin'. It's by a Pennsylvania artist by the name of Hardo. And let's say, I don't know how many years ago it was, but he had a song called Stressin'. And within that song, it's something that just hits so real. And he said that my life's so devious and vicious, I might not live long. And I said, woo. That's what pops in my head when I think about this scent. So I said, is this fragrance devious? Is it dark? And since they're going on the darker edge of one's mind, that sour place, then I said we shall see. Now, the note breakdown for Devious is interesting as you have some really standout notes here. In the top of this fragrance, you have spiced bergamot, you have bitter almond, and you have the note of amaretto. The mid of this fragrance is said to have this sour cherry liqueur. You also have the cyanide note there, chambord, and then you also have the note of nutmeg. And finally, in the base of this fragrance, you have the notes that really kind of sealed the deal for me. You have a cardamom, you have vanilla, you have tonka, and then you also have some sandalwood. Now, what do I get with this fragrance? Well, here's your distribution, as we already saw. But on the top here, you get a blast of cherry. Now, I noticed that I said that cherry was in the mid of this fragrance, but for me, this one kind of comes throughout the entire life of this fragrance. In the top there, that cherry is there for me, and on the first spray, it's almost reminiscent to a more toned down, more subtle play on Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. But that's just on first spray in the air, and then it changes into something totally different. The cherry within this fragrance has this bubbly feel to it, and it's almost like I am smelling a cherry coke, right? My son enjoys cherry cokes, and he just had one last night, and that's what is put in my mind when I smell this fragrance initially. All right, now I mentioned in the top here, you also get some spiced bergamot, you get some bitter almond, and those notes are there, but they are more subtle and subdued, and they play a secondary role to that cherry note for me. Now, I would imagine that that bubbly feel, that cola feel may be coming from that bitterness of that almond mixed in with that spice of that bergamot, and it comes off as a fragrance that, although it's stated to be devious, when I think of devious, I think of something that is dark and evil, right? At least in the way that I use it. This fragrance comes off as something that is a little bit more playful, but it's on the darker side of things. If you had to compare two cherry-based fragrances, right? Again, that Tom Ford Lost Cherry, that's more playful than the scent here, but this fragrance is still a playful and an extremely enjoyable scent. Now, what I do enjoy about this fragrance is it has this boozy quality to that cherry in the scent that I think really makes it really nice. It has this adult feel to it, and don't get me wrong when I say adult feel to it, it doesn't come off as anything that is overtly mature, and it doesn't come off as a mature scent at all. I feel like someone who was in their early 20s, right, could rock this fragrance and really feel great about it, and you could wear it out. And not only could you wear this fragrance out, you could also wear this fragrance on a date night. And why is that? Because as this fragrance dries down, that boozy quality is still there, right, but it's subtle, it's toned down a bit. And when you think of booziness within this fragrance, right, don't think of apple brandy, because it's not that type of boozy feel. It's just a ever so slight boozy quality that comes into the scent. But as this fragrance dries down, you get that vanilla that is really coming to life here, so it provides some type of creaminess within this fragrance. And then there's also the play of that tonka, right, added sweetness there, added warmth with that vanilla, and it's just an extremely enjoyable scent. Now, all things considered, I do find this fragrance to be a unisex fragrance. I feel that obviously anyone in the household could wear this fragrance, but this one for me is a fragrance that I am just confident about. When I wore this fragrance, as I mentioned, on immediate spray, right? I wore this fragrance first day wearing this fragrance. I got 3 compliments. Boom. All right. Like, you smell great. What do you have on? I'm like, no, just joking. But this is what I had on, man. A very nice fragrance, and I like what they did. Now, another thing that I enjoy about this fragrance is that spiciness within this fragrance, it doesn't come off as your traditional spiced scent. Right? It does have some sweet components there, but it's not like a sweet bomb. So if you're an older gentleman or older lady out there, and you're not into that juvenile sweet feel, you're not going to get that with this fragrance. It does have a nice subtle sweetness to it, a nice subtle warmth to it, and the spice is just also sprinkled on there that it just comes off as a really great, wonderful scent. This is one of these scents that I do not mind rocking, and it'll probably show up in some more lists. I even put this one on the list prior to doing this video because it just worked for me that amazing, and I know this one is not in a lot of people's collections. So if you're looking for something that's going to be different than the run-of-the-mill, use something that has that boozy quality to it without being alcoholic, right? I think this is a great scent that you could definitely spring for. In terms of projection, longevity on this one, I did get great projection for this for maybe the first 2.5 hours or so, right? Boom, popped off the skin, and it just draws you in. Partly the reason why I got that great compliment factor. I went with about 5 sprays on this one, and that compliments, the 3 compliments that I received on here, they came within that first 2.5, maybe 3 hours of wearing the scent. Once it dried down, it became a bit more cozy, right? And it didn't really reach out and touch people as much, so therefore the compliments after that were limited. But it garnered compliments nonetheless, and that's what I'm personally looking for in the scent. So would I recommend this fragrance? For shiggity. And again, as I mentioned, this one is available at crystalfragrance.com. If I get a discount for this code, I'll leave a link there listed down below. Try my fragrance code out there. Listen, that's all I have for you guys and girls out there today. If you're looking for a fragrance that works, projects, smells amazing, then this is one of those scents you could grab for. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.